Okay. Hi everyone. I hope you can hear me. Can you please confirm if I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I'm audible, right? Cool.
Okay. Hi
That's
everyone.
great. Okay, that's great. So maybe someone can quickly confirm me. Like I'm just assuming that I'm audible. Okay, all is clear. Great. So let's get started. So today I'm very excited to share that I will be sharing this stage with three more IIScians. So which are like I have been connected to Soumya, Nikhil, and Utkarsh since a long time, and it is really a privilege to share this screen with all of them. So today what we are going to do? Today we will be basically like telling you that what is this MTech research all about. See, you might have seen a few of the blogs, you might have seen few of the YouTube videos, and you might have even went through their official websites, but still there are a couple of doubts. So why not to clear all of these doubts with someone who has actually done MTech research and who is actually like currently working in the industry, right? So today we have Soumya and Nikhil and Utkarsh. So can you guys please turn the video on? Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Nikhil. Thank you, Soumya. Hi, everyone. Hello, Utkarsh. Okay, so thanks guys for joining in, and today I'm like very happy to like say that you guys have joined, and really thanks to find out the time, because I know that how much difficult it is to find out the time when you are working in the industry, and especially on the weekend. People say that weekends are free, but for corporate people it is actually much more occupied, because you have to especially go to some personal events and all. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, so over to you guys. Like I will be here to just see the YouTube comments. So there are a few aspirants who has joined us. So I will be here to read out the comments. If there is any doubt, then I will just request you to entertain that doubt, and like you guys can share your experience about the MTech research. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sachin, for the introduction. Hello,
Thank you.
everyone. We are very excited for this session today. So actually, we'll be discussing about our experience with the help of a PPT that we have made. So I'll be sharing my PPT. Soumya, Utkarsh, just let me know if the screen is visible to you guys. Is it visible? Yes, it is visible. Yeah. Yeah. So hello, everyone. So today we will be actually discussing about our journey of MTech research. What are the things that we have actually faced. Yeah, so this is the overview of the talk. First, we'll be actually discussing about what is actually MTech research, what are the placement opportunities, especially in the programs like MTech research. There's always a query about that. Followed by that, we'll be discussing about how to actually prepare for interviews so that we can actually enter into the program like MTech research. And we'll be actually discussing our own experiences regarding what are the questions that has been asked by professors during the interviews. So yeah, let's get started. So yeah, what is actually MTech research? Basically, this program is a kind of MTech coursework, but with a major focus on research. Yes, so if there are few of you who would like to know what is research, and to get a taste of it, really this program is for you. This program, as you can see on the screen, it highly depends on the advisor too. Like, okay, so what happens is that in MTech research, you have to select your advisor in which you will be doing your research work. So that advisor plays a very important role in your MTech research program. Also, this program is a synonym at various IITs, IIScs. Like at IIT Kanpur, this MTech research program is termed as MS Research. In IIT Bombay, it's MTech RA. So there are in IIT Hyderabad also it's MTech RA. So these are the synonyms. So whenever you are applying for a program, don't get hesitated. Okay, that is MTech research. This is MS Research. So is it different? No, these are all same. These are all synonyms. So yeah, Utkarsh, would you like to say something regarding typical structure of the program in our ISC?
Yeah, so one clarification here is that whatever we are saying in this slide is it is more or less related to IIS.
Yeah, I think Utkarsh, your internet got lagged.
Yeah, no problem. Uh, we'll wait, or shall I continue?
Yeah, sure, Nikhil. If you can like add us.
Yeah. I'm sorry for that small interruption. So basically, we are all three from IISc CSA department. So we would like to share our experience that how typical MTech research program is there in CSA department. Basically, here also we have to do completion of few course requirement and selection of advisor. This happens in the first semester. After this, you have to actually decide on an open problem and get working on that. So what is this open problem meaning? Open problem is nothing but something called as a problem statement. In bachelor's, you have done something called some project in your 7th or 8th semester. This is kind of an extended version, not exactly that, but it's more of research oriented. You would like to do a slightly research. This is more of a research project over here. So this is actually done in the first two semesters. Typically, generally, I'm saying in the third semester, what happens is that you start implementing, get some results, and this is very interesting piece. I would like to say once you get the problem statement, you will actually like to know ki is what I'm doing experiment. Am I contributing something new like that? And once you are getting all the results, this is the very I would say like all the revision of your work, the thesis writing, or the oral examination. So what happens over here is that whatever work you have done, you just write down in a simple term. So here in research, we call it as a thesis. After that, you have to defend your thesis. So this is from this oral examination.
So Nikhil, there is one thing that I have a question कि जो MTech research program है, right? So the term is research, मतलब like I mean MTech and research. So MTech I know because मैंने MTech किया है like from IISc itself as you know. But can you just like specifically focus on the term research? मतलब अगर इसको summarize करें हम कि research क्या है? Like according to me, I can tell you like what I understand from the research कि at MTech level, like obviously at PhD level or at the postdoc level it is quite different. But at the MTech level जो मुझे लगता है, I think कि like you can just correct me like आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग माई व्यू कि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि एमटेक लेवल पे जो रिसर्च है दैट इज जस्ट कि आप चीज़ों को डेप्थ में पढ़ रहे हो एंड विच मीन्स कि आप लाइक सपोज मैं अगर कोर्स वर्क से कंपेयर करूँ कि कोर्स वर्क में क्या है कि आप लाइक जितने भी सब्जेक्ट पढ़ रहे हो ऑटोमेटिकली आप डेप्थ में ही पढ़ोगे लेकिन रिसर्च में आप यू डू सम एक्स्ट्रा एज ऑन दिस यू ऑल्सो रीड द रिसर्च पेपर यू डू आई मीन यू गेट टू नो दैट वॉट इज देयर इन दैट फील्ड राइट आप थोड़ा ज़्यादा पढ़ते हो और ऑन टॉप ऑफ दैट मतलब आपको उस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में इंप्लीमेंट भी करना होता है उस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में रिसर्च भी करना होता है एंड देन आउट ऑफ दिस एमटेक प्रोग्राम जो मुझे लगता है IISc कि दैट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि आपको रिसर्च पेपर पब्लिश करना ही है मतलब दैट इज नॉट नेसेसरी अकॉर्डिंग टू मी जो लाइक यू कैन करेक्ट मी लेटर
Totally agree on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So adding to that, I totally agree on you that what I really like about this MTech research program, I'm truly grateful I joined this program because in this thing, like you will take few subjects only, which Soumya actually will be discussing in detail regarding what is difference between MTech research and coursework. So we have to study few subjects only, and in that subjects only we have to study in detail. So you can feel after a completion of MTech research that I have expertise in some domain. I think that I don't know what in MTech course you will get that feeling or not, but I really like about this MTech research program.
So I would like to add one more point here. So basically in MTech, you explore different areas. Like you will explore courses related to algorithm, graph theory. You will explore courses related to systems. You will explore intelligent system. But in MTech research, your focus will be on one area. You will go in depth in just one area instead of covering the breadth. So this is the major difference between MTech and MTech research. So at the end of the course, if you are an MTech student, you will have knowledge of all the areas like for system, for intelligent system. But at the end of the MTech research course, you will get idea about only one area, but in depth. So this is the major difference.
एंड एक कमेंट जो कि वन ऑफ द एस्पिरेंट इज आस्किंग कि कैन एडवाइजर रिजेक्ट आल्सो रिजेक्ट योर सॉरी कैन एडवाइजर आल्सो रिजेक्ट यू बेस्ड ऑन योर प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट. तो आई थिंक ही मीन्स टू आस्क कि एडवाइजर आई मीन कैन दे स्टॉप योर डिग्री. आई मीन maybe this is what he meant to ask.
We'll come to it later.
Okay, we already have that in slide if I remember correctly.
Utkarsh is back. Utkarsh, do you want to add anything?
Hey, I know. Sorry, I'm having some network issues.
Yes, thank you, Utkarsh.
No problem.
So, do you want to add any point here?
No, I think I'm good.
Yes, Soumya, over to you regarding what is coursework for this.
Yeah, sure. So before moving ahead, I just want to clear one thing. This difference is majorly based on the IISc program, but I will talk about IISc and IITB. But all of these things differs in different institutions. So yeah. So one thing first of all about the duration, MTech coursework is fixed. That is, you have to complete your degree in 2 years. In case of MTech research, in most of the institutes, it's vary from 2 to 3 years. Like in IISc, the official duration is 1.5 to 2.5 years, but usually students take 2 to 3 years to complete their degree. In case of IIT Bombay, it's fixed 3-year duration. I think in IIT Kanpur and IIT Madras, it's there is no upper bound on the time limit, but people usually complete their degree in 3 years. So this is one major difference between coursework and research work. Second difference is course requirements. So in case of IISc, an MTech coursework student usually needs to complete 10 to 11 courses for the period of 2 years. And for the research students, there is a minimum requirement of 3 courses. So you can take as many courses as you can depending on your advisor, but 3 courses is the minimum requirement. And in case of coursework, there is no GPA requirement in IISc. In case of IIT Kanpur, I think there is some bond on the GPA, like your GPA should be 7.5 or something, otherwise your stipend will get stopped. I'm not very sure, but there is some GPA requirement. In case in IISc, in case of MTech research, you have to 7 GPA in your top 3 courses. So here by top 3 courses, what I mean, sort the courses based on your grades, and the grades in your top 3 courses should be 7 and above, and you have to complete this requirement in the first year itself. So yeah, this is one thing.
Just to add here, like if some candidate is not able to do this in 1 year, I think one can get some extension, right? Like nothing to worry about it.
But you have to tell the reason why.
Right.
But even though this there is this GPA requirement, but usually people complete this in first semester itself. So it is not very hard to get 7 GPA. But it's just that there is this requirement in place.
Yeah, that's it. Like nobody should get scared that I have to do it in 1 year. That I mean, you can get one more semester in some if required, right?
As I said, that in MTech coursework you will get to explore the breadth of the areas, right? So it is mandatory to complete 2 courses from each of the theory system and intelligent system pool. So what is this pool? So basically in IISc, whole of the CS is divided into 3 pools. The pool A is theory pool, which which focuses on the areas related to theory. For example, algorithms, graph theory, etc. In system, area of focus will be operating system, computer architecture, and so on. Basically, the areas related to system. So, and intelligent system pool is machine learning. So, this is the most famous and full, and yeah. So, and for the MTech research, there is no constraint as such. It's just that in the first semester you have to take one mathematical course or one course from theory pool. So people usually take linear algebra and probability, so that will complete their course requirement. Okay, so yeah, I think I have covered more or less everything. Yeah, one more thing is we have already discussed key for MTech coursework, the major focus will be on the course completion, while on MTech research, the major focus will be on research project rather than courses. And you will take the courses that is required to complete your research project. So this is important thing. Next thing is in terms of stipend, everyone will get 12,400. I think this is the typical number that we get from MHRD. But apart from this, MTech research student usually get some extra compensation. So, for example, in IISc, you will get some amount if you contributed as a TA for some course. In I think IIT Madras research people get 13,400, and in IIT Bombay also, I guess. So yeah, usually research people get some extra compensation apart from the usual stipend. Anything you guys want to add here?
Yeah, I would like to add one thing that for the aspirants who would like to know that whether PhD is there, whether you would like to do PhD or not, this program is best, because this program will help you let you know that whether MTech research is basically for you or not. So that's why actually we would like to say that this MTech is kind of a mini version of PhD, where you will actually get a flavor of what is actually research about.
It is, I think, like best of both. Like you get to know that what PhD is, and also you are not forced to publish the papers.
Yeah.
It's just like an exploration. It is
Right.
basically a course that will help you in deciding whether you are a research person or not. Do you want to
Got
PhD or not?
And now we'd like to discuss about the myths about this MTech research program. You can also comment in the YouTube comment if you have any other myths about even after this three. So like publishing research work is mandatory. I should definitely get a paper published, then only I'll get my degree. MTech coursework has a better placements than MTech research. MTech research, oh my god, it's really difficult. I don't know whether I should go for it or not. Are you also having this myths like that?
Yeah, actually, Nikhil, I think we already have a few more myths about the MTech research in the comment section. So one of the aspirant and one of the candidate is asking that does research really mean that we have to publish something? I mean, we have to publish, or maybe we have to invent something new. So this is the question that he is asking. So I think as we already discussed that research at MTech level, you first have to understand. So I forgot the name who was asking that question. Yeah, Rushikesh was asking. So Rushikesh, you first have to understand that this research is not the research at the scientist level. This research is at the MTech level, which means you are entering into the field. You are not a scientist kind of person, right? You are trying to learn the things. You are entering into this field. So this research at the MTech level is basically understanding your field in one much more way, in much better way, and in more depth. That is what we call MTech research. So it is not necessary that you have to invent something. Okay, yes, you are required to work on the problems which are less explored. You are required to improve the efficiency if you're working for the machine learning field, but it is not necessarily mean that you have to definitely invent something. Okay, it is just that you have to explore your field in some better way. Nikhil, is this correct? Like what you said?
Yeah. So everything is correct. So as you can see, we have cutted all these myths which has seen. So
Yes.
yes, publishing research work is never a mandatory thing. What you have to do is like just try contributing something new. You can try contributing, but it's not mandatory that something big has to be there. Then only you will get degree. Nothing like that. And MTech coursework has a better, please Soumya.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so MTech coursework has a better placement than MTech research. Oh, if I'm at MTech research, I will have less placement opportunities. No, MTech coursework and MTech research, they will both have the similar placement opportunities. MTech research is difficult. It is different, but it's worse, I would say. It's not that difficult as you're expecting. Yes, Soumya?
I'd like to add one more point in the previous discussion. So, what do you expect out of an MTech research degree is you should have some result, whether it's positive or negative. It doesn't. It doesn't matter. It's just that you have done something worth. That is it. It's not required that you have done something big. It's not required that you should get a paper out of it. It's just that you have done something. Whether it's if the result is very negative, then you will just say that I have tried this approach and it didn't work. That's it. This is all MTech research. Nothing fancy.
Got it. So, Soumya, if I just reiterate your point, like you are saying that professor will evaluate our efforts. Like if we have done really some honest efforts during that time of MTech research, then it is good enough. Like they are not expecting you to really publish some paper, really inventing something new. They will just see that whether you have really worked hard, are you justifying the MTech research or not, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, totally agree.
And adding to the Rishikesh question, first of all, excellent question. I think he asked the basic question, what is research? So I remember when I joined MTech research, first 6 months where we have to do the courses, I was totally unaware of what is research. For example, I asked many of my seniors that I came to MTech research, but I don't know what is research. Okay, so I think it took me 3 years to understand what is research. So even as of now, if you don't know what is it is okay. But in layman's term, if you are asking what is research, is it discovering, is it inventing, I would say there are many open problems. Open problems meaning nobody knows what is the answer of it, whether we can solve it. That's the first question. If we can solve it, how we can solve it, nobody knows it. So maybe discovering about those questions and ideally contributing to it or getting some epsilon result, that we can call it as research. That is very layman's term, but as and when you will do it, you will get to know more about it.
Right, and that is I think very much true for the theory pool, Utkarsh, right? I mean, doing some contribution to the open problem, and also I think like not just open problem in the theory pool, if I understand correctly, is that people also discover the new problems by themselves. I mean, they discover the problem, they tell the solution, and that's how the people publish their research papers in theory.
It's an open problem. Like in case of intelligent system pool, already there are so many problems on which millions of works are there. It's just that you take the problem statement and you just want to improve it. You just want to improve in terms of accuracy, or you just want to optimize something. Just so for example, cost. So it's not always the open problem you are going to pick. It's highly depends on the advisor. And I think there was one question that can advisors also reject based on your problem statement. So I think you raised my turn. So your advisor will not reject you for the problem statement. In fact, you are going to choose your problem statement in presence of your advisor. What I mean to say is you and your advisor will mutually agree on some problem statement and you will start working on them. And in fact, in some cases, advisor will provide you the problem statement.
Yeah, if you are lucky, you will get it ready, right? I mean, you don't have to do any effort.
And even so, this is also one thing that I would like to highlight. In case of IISc, you do not need to have a problem statement beforehand. Like after the interviews, you will get an entire semester in which you will explore different areas. You will talk to most of the professors, and then you will decide your advisor. After that, once you get the advisor, like if some professor agreed to take you, you agreed to go in this lab. Again, it will be a mutual agreement between the professor and you. After that, the talk of problem statements will start.
Right.
And in case of I think IIT Kanpur and IIT Madras, you have to mention some problem statement beforehand. But it's not like you're going to
Stick
work
with
on
that one.
problem statement. So the thing that I want to focus here is that your advisor will be with you in the journey of figuring out the problem statement.
The advisor will make sure that you have something to write on your thesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the conclusion is that nobody is going to reject you based on your problem statement. If at all, they will help you. They will not reject you. That is.
And in the entire journey, your advisor will be with you even in solving the problem statement. In the research, your advisor will be with you. You will have discussions like every week or every day. It's like there is someone who will focus you on you for 2 years or 3 years. So this is not an alone journey. And if you're lucky enough, you will get a PhD student with you. So your half of the work will be done.
Or their half of the work will be done.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, placement opportunities, as Nikhil already said, students, MTech coursework student and MTech research student both get the same placement opportunity. There is nothing different in terms of placement. You guys will be sit together in the same placement session. Companies will come, and I think it's just MTech. You know, there is a myth like placement, like research student will not get placement or उनको job नहीं मिलती. No, there is nothing like that. In fact, for some research profile, research students get an edge over the coursework students. So, for example, IBM research and do you have some names in your mind?
Yeah, I mean, you can go. Yeah.
Yeah, TCS research. So these are the places where you will get an edge. Even in Amazon research, I think Flipkart research scientist. So in all of this process, you'll get an edge over the coursework students. And there is one thing that very few students know, even after doing their MTech, there is this pre-doctoral research programs. So in these programs, this is the same as any other company, but it's just that you will get a flair of research in it. You will act as a research assistant for like 2 years, and like Google offers this program, Microsoft offers this program, and for this program, basically they take the students from the research profile on. Yeah. So this is an age which is definitely will be there if you are a research student instead of coursework. Want to add anything? Nikhil, Utkarsh?
Yeah, adding to what Soumya said.
Nikhil, your voice is feeble.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Now it is clear.
Yeah. I was saying that adding to what Soumya said, there's also pre-doctoral research program, Soumya, which like many candidates from IISc during our time, they got placed over there as a pre-doctoral research program. So if you're performing well, you can also get into full time. Right, Soumya?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Also, I would like to highlight that this research jobs, right, they are like very much different from ordinary, say, software development jobs, or there you'll be actually working on open problems which are industry relevant, right? So I think if you're interested in doing somewhat different, I think this MTech research course has a lot to offer for you.
And one more thing is, if you are planning to do PhD after MTech research, like you are very clear, then you should go for MTech research only, because you'll get a chance to publish a paper in this course that will definitely help you in getting some good college in PhD. Moreover, you'll get a chance to work in this research labs, you know, TCS research, IBM research. From there also you'll get the chance to have papers, and papers will definitely help you in long run in growing in your career. So I think one should not miss the opportunity. And there is one more perk. if you have some results and you are going to publish a paper and your paper got accepted, then IISc will. So there is a 2 lakh research grant, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, 2 lakh.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the institute will bear that
Cover
amount.
that amount, yeah.
But, so there is a chance for go abroad.
I would like to add one thing, that even MTech coursework people, if let's say even they will also do research, not like they won't do nothing research, even they will also do research, but it's a very small way. But let's say even if their paper also gets accepted, so even they will also, like IISc doesn't distinguish who is MTech coursework, who is MTech research, like instead of sponsoring.
Nikhil, are you sure that the amount is covered by the institute for
MTech
the
coursework?
coursework? Yes.
What I felt that if paper gets accepted, then only it will get done.
I am not very sure whether coursework. I think Sachin, you know about it.
I have not done research, like I have done my
for
MTech
MTech
peacefully.
No, for coursework only.
Yeah, for coursework, I'm saying, like, actually, I heard that people get some reimbursement if their paper get accepted. Like, at least the
Yeah, I
travel
think, but that
reimbursement.
funding will be majorly from the labs, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I
But
wanted.
definitely for MTech research student, there is a grant of 2 lakh that you can use for any of your research purpose. Like Nikhil got a mobile phone, I guess.
Yeah. So I would like to add one thing, that even for MTech research program, your stipend can get increased also. If you are in, let's say, in the lab who has very much fund. So I know my juniors working under a professor. So their stipend is actually not 12,400. It is more than that for MTech research program specifically. So it depends upon advisor to advisor also regarding the stipend. So this is
Yeah,
another
you'll
benefit
get
of MTech research.
Got it. Yes.
You
Yeah,
get
that's
some
really
extra
nice.
funding from your lab.
Also, one point I missed in the last slide. So it's regarding this TA ship, right? So if MTech people, if they are doing this TA job, they won't get extra compensation. But if MTech research people, they are doing it, they'll get 12,400 amount. So that is also there. So
I got it.
the same job, yeah, I got it twice for 2 semesters. So same people, if MTech people does it, they won't give it. I don't know why they do that, but that is also another perk of joining MTech.
Yeah, because TA-ship is a part of MTech coursework, so basically it's their
Okay.
job. So, okay, so regarding this TA-ship, in IISc, TA-ship is not mandatory for coursework student, but I think from this year they have made it mandatory. I have read somewhere. But in other institutes like IIT Bombay or IIT Kanpur or any other institute, you have to give 8 hours of I think 8 hours per week for the TA-ship program. So this is extra effort you will have
Got
to
it.
do.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite question. Like, I only requested Nikhil, Utkarsh and Soumya to put this question and answer this. That I mean, the question is that if I am not interested in the research, I am only interested in the placement. Should I still go for MTech research? So, as a sorry to interrupt. So, as a previous slide said, like you people talked about that MTech and MTech research has the same placement opportunities, right? So, Nikhil, can you just go to that previous slide if it is possible? Okay, so that first line is saying that students enrolled in MTech and MTech research has the same placement opportunity. तो यहाँ पे I have a serious question and I have a serious doubt also कि कुछ तो difference होता होगा ना कि placement में MTech वाले बैठ रहे हैं उनकी अच्छी रैंक आई है most probably, like I'm not saying this is very much true, मतलब so sometimes like people even the single digit ranker choose to go for MTech research. So but most probably, like if I take a general observation, तो most probably MTech coursework वालों की अच्छी रैंक आई होती है एंड MTech रिसर्च वालों की रैंक मतलब लेट्स सपोज +100, लाइक जितनी भी आई होती है, लाइक तो थोड़ी प्रिटर्ब रहती है उनसे. तो उनको थोड़ा तो MTech कोर्स वर्क को रैंक आई है कुछ तो एज मिलना ही चाहिए ना, मतलब लाइक कुछ तो डिफरेंस होता ही होगा कि या फिर कुछ भी नहीं होता. कंपनी वाले लाइक लेट्स सपोज फ्लिपकार्ट या अमेजोन, कोई भी माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, कोई भी अच्छी कंपनी आ रही है, कोई भी स्टार्टअप आ रहा है, कोई भी कंपनी आ रही है, तो क्या वो ये नहीं देखते कि वो MTech का कोर्स वर्क का है तो उसको हम प्रेफरेंस देंगे? इज इट नॉट ट्रू?
Once you get the admission into the institute, nobody will ask your rank.
Yeah,
Nobody.
that is
Your
nice
rank
to
will
ask.
not matter. Your seriously, nobody will ask if this people has got this is AIR1 or this is AIR2. Nobody will remember and nobody will ask. And it doesn't make difference. In fact, especially in terms of placement, your gate rank will not use anywhere. What will matter is your GPA.
Exactly. Right. So nobody is going to bother about your gate rank once you get the admission.
Once you get the admission, nothing will matter.
True.
They will treat everyone same.
Right. तो यहाँ पे हाँ निखिल, you are saying something, yeah, please.
Yeah, there's a reason regarding what Soumya said that gate rank doesn't matter. I'm talking with respect to the placements because when the company comes for the placement, they will just what I have experienced, they will check your knowledge. Like let's say in the computer science, right? They will check how much are you compatible with DSL Go, whatever the project you are doing in IISc. So how much confident are you on that? So for them, like gate rank is nothing. How
much work we are doing in that research or that coursework that matters. Yes.
And as Soumya mentioned, GPA is important.
Right.
Yeah, GPA is very important. And since GPA is important, I would say कि MTech research again have an edge over it because they have to complete less number of courses. They got ample amount of time. So they just complete their courses, in depth. They get more time to prepare for the courses for the exams. So usually there is an age. Also, in some cases, I would say in a good number of cases, usually MTech research people choose to sit in the placement in the next year. Basically, they get 2 years to sit based on their choices. They can sit in their second year or in the third year. So they usually go for the third year and sit with their juniors. So in terms of resume, by that time they have strong resume, strong research project, and many other projects. So in terms of resume selection, also they usually get an edge.
Right. So basically placements, when it comes to the placement, so since they have to do, I mean MTech research people have to do less coursework. I mean उनको like in particularly we are talking about the IISc. So IISc में उनको 4 ही कोर्स करने हैं MTech research वालों को, तो उनको ज़्यादा टाइम मिल पाता है प्लेसमेंट का प्रिपेयर करने के लिए, उनको ज़्यादा टाइम मिल पाता है कोर्स वर्क को अच्छे करने के लिए, और उनको टाइम के अलावा उनको 1 साल और एक्स्ट्रा मिल रहा है जस्ट टू मेक देयर प्रोफाइल स्ट्रॉन्गर.
Exactly. Well, basically, you can do things on your own pace. It's not like you have to just complete the things in there is a deadline and you have to meet those deadlines. तो वो लोग सब अच्छे से करते हैं.
Right.
And it's not like they need to complete 3 courses to 3 करना है. Like I have completed 6 courses during my time. So 3 is the minimum requirement, but you can do as many courses as you can. And I'm talking about this about the crediting courses. You can audit as many courses as you can.
Right. There is one doubt also कि placements में CDS versus AI versus CSA MTech CSA इसमें कुछ difference होता है या फिर like इसमें कुछ difference नहीं है, like I mean all these departments, all of these coursework are treated equally or not?
All of the departments treated equally, even electrical and electronics. So if suppose a company comes for a data scientist role, then all of these departments will be considered.
Got it. And there is one,
I've seen that even management people, they have taken data science.
Exactly. Even the management people get the opportunity to sit for data science course.
Yes, I have also seen that in my batch. In fact, I have one of my friend from management department, and then currently she is working at data science position, and she's from ISC. Yeah, I agree with that.
Also adding to Sachin's question, Sachin, you asked then what is the advantage to MTech people? They get high rank, then अगर सभी MTech research को मिल रहा है तो उन्हें क्या मिल रहा है, right? So I would say one thing is that कि उन्हें डिग्री तो मिलनी ही वाली. There is high chance unless they screw up in some subject. Otherwise, more or less, from day one they are very sure that they are going to get degree. Okay. But MTech research people, I'm not telling that everyone will get degree. It depends on advisor, as I said. So तुम्हारे से कुछ तो expectation रहेगी. You have to do some result or
minimal amount of work. कुछ भी
Right.
नहीं
So-
किया है तो डिग्री नहीं मिलेगी.
Right. So from day one, you might have that in
थोड़ा
mind.
डर तो है.
Right. That thing is there. So that trade-off is there.
But I
Right.
would like to add one point that if you're honest and if you're, let's say, working 2.5 years, like honestly, like spending at least, let's say, like daily routine, like 8 to 10 hours, you're doing honestly research, then definitely you will get degree.
तब तो
Like-
पेपर भी पब्लिश हो जाएगा. 8 to 10 hours is too much, I think.
So, yeah, like if you are in the
8 to
facilities
10 hours
college,
usually you need to give if you are doing MTech from prestigious institutes, 8 to 10 hours are the minimal effort. Yeah.
Okay, we have hardworking guys with us, so I won't comment. Okay. एक और क्वेश्चन है, सत्यम वाज आस्किंग कि कोर्स वर्क में रिसर्च नहीं होता क्या? तो व्हाट यू पीपल हैव टू से अबाउट दिस?
So it happens, but the thing is, usually professor will have lower expectations from you as compared to the research person. This is one thing. Second thing is you will not get time to focus on the research project, since you will be occupied with doing your courses, your assignments and all. So it will be difficult for you only to get some time for the research project. In coursework also there is a project that you need to complete, but I think it will be of relatively lower level as compared to the research project.
Right. I will yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I will also add something to that because मैंने कोर्स वर्क किया है. So मैंने मेरे बैच में ऑब्जर्व किया था कि एक्चुअली पहले सेमेस्टर और दूसरे सेमेस्टर में तो इट्स वेरी रेयर टू गेट फाइंड द टाइम. एंड टाइम की भी बात नहीं है, आप रिसर्च कर भी कैसे सकते हो पहले या दूसरे सेमेस्टर में व्हेन यू डोंट इवन नो योर फील्ड. तो दीज आर द 2 सेमेस्टर व्हेन यू एक्चुअली लर्न द थिंग. सो वो तो आपको आई थिंक रिसर्च में भी इतना टाइम नहीं मिल पाएगा क्योंकि आप सीख ही रहे हो कि आपको करना क्या है फॉर द नेक्स्ट 2 years मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली. तो पहला 1 साल तो एमटेक कोर्स वर्क में रिसर्च नहीं हो पाएगा बिकॉज आपको अपना फील्ड ही अच्छे से नहीं आता, आप अभी पढ़ रहे हो. एंड नेक्स्ट ईयर में आपको थोड़े कोर्स वर्क का, इनफैक्ट 4th सेमेस्टर में तो कोई भी कोर्स वर्क नहीं होता है जनरली, मोस्ट प्रॉब्ली दैट इज ट्रू. अदरवाइज किसी स्टूडेंट का एक पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट या एक पर्टिकुलर कोर्स उनको लेना होता है. तो मोस्टली पीपल पब्लिश देयर पेपर इफ दे आर इंटरेस्टेड टू पब्लिश बिकॉज इट इज ऑप्शनल इन द एमटेक रिसर्च, सॉरी इन द एमटेक. मतलब वो कंप्लीटली आपके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है, राइट है ना. तो 4th सेमेस्टर में मेरे बैच में भी कुछ लोगों ने पेपर पब्लिश किया था एंड इट हैपन्स. मतलब जो लोग इंटरेस्टेड हैं वो पेपर पब्लिश कर ही देते हैं. तो नोबडी इज गोइंग टू स्टॉप यू इफ यू आर गोइंग टू पब्लिश द पेपर. सॉरी, या.
And if you already have some background, you already know ML thoroughly, not ML, anything thoroughly, like you are experienced person, so you will get time. I mean, you will start your project early. You can anytime you can get in touch with any professor that you would want to work with, and you can start your research. Like even in my lab itself, there's this one guy which has some 2 to 3 years of experiences, and he was already head. So started his research. He published, I think, 2 papers by the end of his MTech. So yeah, it totally depends on you basically. But if I talk about an average coursework student, so he or she usually get very less time for the research.
Right. Also adding to what Sachin said, Sachin in 3rd semester people start going behind placements and take people usually. So that semester goes for placement, and then after that people are usually very chill that now I am done with placement, so now I don't want anything more in life, right? So yeah.
That is true. तो ये ऑप्शनल है, पर्सनल प्रेफरेंसेस है. जिसको मेहनत करनी है, जिसको पेपर निकालना है वो निकाल लेगा. IISc और एनी IIT वोंट स्टॉप
depends on the research culture at your institute. Like IISc में research culture है, so research paper and all बात भी आती है, but in other institute you will not see that kind of research culture.
Yes.
Yeah. Why
Nikhil,
do some-
you are on mute, I think, if you are speaking something.
yeah, Chris, would you like to take why teaches MTech research?
Why not? Sure. Yeah, so first thing, like Sachin said, if you are not in top 100 or something and still you want to go into, say, IISc or top IITs, you still have a chance. You appear for this MTech research program, you crack the interview, and you are still into this top colleges, right? So basically giving you one more chance to get into this top tier institutes. And then, as we discussed, the same point, placement opportunities are same. So no matter if you are MTech or MTech research, still you are getting same opportunities, even with somewhat relatively lower ranks, say 400 or 500, right? So that is there. Like we said, that in if you are MTech research student, you will get some exposure to research. You will read some research papers. You will get to know first that what is research, and then whether I am suitable for research going forward. If I want to do PhD, that clarification you will get. So if you're very unclear, is PhD your cup of tea? You should definitely consider doing this course. Next point will be, yeah, you will get, as we said, you get more duration, 3 years, and in 3 years you have to do less courses. So that is also there. You can, with your pace, you can prepare for placement. You can take your time to do the subject. So there is no hard and fast rule that you have to take something from every pool. Whatever you're interested in, you can take those subjects only. That is another freedom, I would say. And then. Suppose by the end of this course, if you get one or two good papers in good conferences, there is high chance that you'll get a good PhD admin in even in Ivy League or some of the best colleges in India also. So that is another advantage. And yeah, as we said, if you are very unclear whether you have to do PhD, because PhD is 5-year course, right? So if you want to have clarity on that, so first you do the MTech research. If you like that course, there is high chance that you will enjoy PhD too. So yeah, those I think are covered in PPT. But if you have any other points, you can share, right?
Yeah, I would like to add one thing that I've seen many seniors or like in my batch who have enrolled in MTech research program. They like research so much that they converted their MTech research program to PhD.
Into PhD.
Yeah, so that is the beauty of this program.
Yeah, you can anytime convert. Like if you are not, if you want to do PhD and you are not sure that whether I should go for it, then anytime you can enroll for an MTech research course and upgrade it to PhD if you are liking research. And in fact, there is you will get a chance at the end of your program to convert directly to PhD. So whatever work you have done as part of MTech research will get carried forwarded to the PhD.
Right.
Soumya's what said that there are some requirements regarding, let's say, if you are in MTech research, you have to convert to PhD. So let's say there are some n number of courses you have to complete with some minimum degree and minimum GPA. And if that's satisfied, you have to undergo interview process for PhD. And if it finds, then. And
there is minimum GPA requirement also, I think, 8, if I'm not wrong. But if you are converting it early, then none of these will be considered.
Got it. And also, like, this is off topic question, but still, like, since you guys has talked about PhD, so I would like to ask this कि PhD मतलब like actually most of the experience मैं भी जब बीटेक मैंने पास आउट किया था तो मुझे भी ऐसा लगता था कि PhD तो वो करते हैं ना जो लाइफ में कुछ नहीं करते हैं, मतलब जिनको कुछ होता नहीं है, फाइनली PhD ज्वाइन कर लेते हैं. मुझे नहीं पता था PhD के बारे में, या फिर PhD वो लोग करते हैं जो जिनको टीचिंग में ही जाना है. तो इज दिस ट्रू, लाइक PhD इज ओनली फॉर PhD और PhD इज ओनली फॉर टीचिंग, और PhD के बाद इंडस्ट्री में जॉब नहीं लगेगी, बीटेक के बाद लग जाएगी? आफ्टर बीटेक यू कैन गो टू Amazon, you can go to Microsoft, you can go to Flipkart and these companies or any company, but people have that myth or have that mindset कि PhD के बाद जॉब नहीं लगेगी, बीटेक के बाद भले लग जाएगी. Is this true or there is some myth around it?
Yeah, Soumya would be a better person to answer, because in her lab there are many, I think there were a few PhD students who got into the industry.
Right. Okay, so let me take this. So it's not like that ki if someone is doing PhD then he wants to go for teaching or as such. So PhD is just that if some people are interested in in research and they just want to explore more, then they go for PhD. Of course, there are people who already set their mind that they want to become the professor, but after doing PhD, there are a lot of opportunities in the industry as well, and you will get a higher position. Like for example, in Amazon, if I'm getting applied scientist 2, if after the MTech research, you will get applied scientist 3 after the PhD. So basically, you will get a higher role and higher salary after the
Right.
PhD, and of course, at some point of your career, PhD will definitely help you in getting to the next level.
Very true. Actually, yes, like just to add on this, because the industry, like what I felt about the PhD after working at Amazon and at the Xerox Labs, that I had my seniors, my manager, and everyone was mostly at the ML profile. It is true that many people are PhD. Like at the ML profile, I think that is more true. Not sure about other profiles.
And placements for the PhD goes around the year. Like there is no fixed time. Companies will come for the entire year. You'll get the opportunity to sit.
That's
And
what
also
PhD is.
just one more thing, that I remember that I talked to one of my senior who was PhD, and he was recently joined PhD at Amazon, and he had finished his PhD from IIT Bombay. And I happened to ask that, okay, I mean, like just for the curiosity, that how much he is getting as a, like, I mean, as a compensation. So he told me that like I was getting whatever I was getting, he was getting almost double of it. So like I can summarize in one line, is that like industry is looking for PhD guys. Like industry is having lot of the problems in their business. Like they have many open problems. They want to solve their problems, and PhD guys are the best person for them, most probably, like to deal with the difficult problems.
And one more point that I would like to add. So there is this Microsoft Research, MSR, or Google Research,
Right.
Google Brand. So PhD is the minimum requirement for them. They
Right.
only take people
Very true.
who have a PhD degree. So this is one thing. Key. If you want to go in some research labs, then PhD is mandatory.
Right. Also, what Sachin said, like some person from Amazon was getting double of what he was getting. But anyway, I think you can get double if you are working for 5 years in
Yeah.
Amazon, right? So that is fine.
Okay.
But I think more or less PhD is about inner transformation, right? You are solving some really hard open problems in 5 years. So you're contributing to society. That is bigger reward, right? I mean, that is what I feel, at least.
Yeah.
What I
Totally
really like
agree.
about them is that their patience level. Like,
Right.
there's so many rejections. Then like you have to keep calm yourself, keep working hard to get it right. I really
Right.
It's not about the I mean hard skills, but in case of soft skills or as a person, you will learn a lot of things like patience. PhD requires a lot of patience. In fact, not only PhD. If you talk about MTech research, if you are working on a research project, it will require patience, and also your writing skills will get improved. Because if I talk about myself, while writing my thesis, I got like my advisor reviewed my thesis at least 5 times, and I got like at least 400 comments. So over the period of time, after completing my thesis, I actually felt that my writing skills got improved. Not only writing skills, I have seen a lot of improvement in myself in terms of communication,
Academic.
writing skills,
Presenting.
how presentation skills will get improved. So there are other things as well that one should consider.
Right.
yeah.
So can you go back to the previous slide, Nikhil? And about this lower rank, actually, I want to add one point. So it's not lower rank; it's relatively lower rank. And if you see, and if you compare an MTech coursework person and MTech research person, the research person will be like he might have done 2 or 3 more mistakes as compared to the coursework person. That is why his rank is lower. So it doesn't mean that his or her caliber is lower. Because anyway there is very high cutoff for the research program as well if you talk about the top institutes. So it's not like usually people think that research programs are like if you get lower degree you will get a chance to still get a chance to go into IT or IITs or IC. That is why these programs are designed. This is not actually true. Research people actually go through they are filtered based on two things. One is GATE score and then the interview. So it's not easy to get into these institutes. You have to clear the interview, and in that you will be judged by your thinking process and how much knowledge do you have. So after getting the admission, everyone will be equal. It's not like कि people will treat you कि ये तो research वाले हैं, so
इनको छूना नहीं है.
so it's not like that.
Yeah, I used to think कि freshers party MTech research की अलग होती होगी क्या MTech coursework की अलग होती होगी
No,
क्या?
ऐसा नहीं. All of them will take कोई course अलग नहीं होता है. I mean, everyone will attend the same course. Everything will be same. Like it's not like that ये research वाले और ये coursework वाले सब साथ में ही रहते हैं, same ही course attend करते हैं. Even the PhD people will attend the course that you are taking. Not only PhD, BTech, BSc ones as well, BTech or BSc. So courses वगैरह सब कुछ same ही होंगे. तो you will sit, in the same class.
Right.
Yeah. So as Soumya mentioned, that there is 2 levels of screening to get into the MTech research. So now actually we'll be discussing about how interview process happens for MTech research, what are the admission process, how is the written test, how is the interview. We'll be shedding a light on it. So first we'll talk about the admission process. So basically there is at high level we have typically 2 levels screening. Some institutes like IIT Kanpur or I think if I'm not wrong IIT Madras also we'll have coding round first. And after, so coding round followed by a written test, which can be of MCQs as well as subjective. So this coding round and written test, they both happen one after the other. And as mentioned, some colleges may have either coding or written test, and you have to clear that written test with there's some threshold value. And once you have cleared it, there will be interview process happening. So now this interview process is little tricky in the sense that you should know on which subject you would like to have your interview on. You should know your expertise on which subjects you are comfortable, that if interviewer is asking some questions, I'll be able to answer. If little trickier happens, I should be able to manage. That confidence level you can get. And how you can get that confidence, which subjects and what are the questions has been asked. You can always go to the interview blogs that's available over the internet regarding what are the questions they ask, like that. So interview process for MTech research, we'll be specifically talking about at IISc, at how generally it happens. Basically, we have 3 pools as we mentioned, we have theory, computer systems, intelligence systems, like that. So theory pool, I can get high level also, theory pool, Utkarsh was there. In systems pool, I was there. Computer systems and software and intelligence systems, Soumya was there. So we have to select one of the pools from this, and on there only interview will happen. So Soumya, would you like to share about in each of the pool, what are the subjects we have generally?
So particularly in IISc, you will get a call from the department. So I'm talking about the CSA department first. So after getting the call, you will have to choose 2 sub areas. First, you will have to decide your stream, like theoretical computer science system or intelligence system. After that, you have to choose 2 sub areas from that pool. And then you have to choose 2 background subjects. So this is only for the interview purpose, and nothing will get considered after getting the admission. So this is just to narrow down your interview questions, maybe I will say. So you'll get this. I think this remains more or less same for you every year. But if you get call from IC, you will get this sheet via email, right? Via email or
Yeah, we get emails for that. Like you've been shortlisted for interview, you'll get a call letter, and in there only this table will be there, like what subjects you will like.
right. So, Nikhil, do you have any, or Utkal, do you have any advice on how to choose background subject based on the sub areas? Like, if you are choosing compiler, should you choose background subject as compilers as well? Something like that. In case of intelligent system, pool is very straightforward since there are only two background subjects, linear algebra and probability. And if someone is interested in machine learning, then you have to prepare linear algebra and probability thoroughly and it is applicable for any institute, not just for IISc.
So in systems, what happens is that at high level, it all depends upon the subjects you are selecting, as said earlier. So you can, and so there's no link I found that if you have to select some sub areas like this, then background subject should have been like this. So whatever you are filling on that, in that only questions will be asked.
Right, and it doesn't mean that you are selecting sub areas and you will only get to work on those sub areas as well, only if you got selected. So this is just some initial preference that you have to give, but
That's honestly, there's no hard and fast rule. It's
right.
just for your interview process to get started. So Utkarsh, would you like to give a light on theory pool?
Yeah, so now like we'll be quickly looking at every pool just to get high level idea of what kind of questions can be asked. Okay, so we'll be starting with theory pool, right? So there will be usually half an hour exam, 30 minutes will be asked 6 to 7 questions. The questions can be subjective and objective. And we can expect questions from typical theory subjects like say combinatorics, probability, algorithms, data structures, some C programming questions. So in 30 minutes, these questions you have to solve, and I think they will screen the candidates based on the quality of answers or how many correct answers you have written. Once this test is done, I think within half an hour, they will announce the candidates who have cleared this test, and those they will carry forward to second round, which will be interview round, right? And if you're obviously if you're cracking interview, you're through, you'll get the admission, right? So in the interview, you can expect the questions from, so as I said, you'll be given some sheet, right, where you have to select 2 background subjects. So from whichever subjects you have selected, you will get the questions. For example, say you have, for example, you have, okay, can you go? Sorry. Right. Okay, so for example, okay, so we saw the sample questions, right? I think I won't discuss that. In the previous slide, I had attached some sample question, right? You can have a look at it. I just attach it for reference. So for interview, I think you have to, you'll have to pick subjects. And for example, I had chosen algorithm at my time, right? So you can expect this typical questions from algorithm. For example, suppose a tree is given, and how to find a diameter of a tree. The first question is what is diameter of tree, right? So that you should know, otherwise the interview will tell you. So then you'll be given some time to think that, and then you have to tell him your approach. Obviously you will give some hints. The final idea is that they have to see how is your thinking process. If given hints, are you able to pick those hints, and are you able to come up with the answers? So so for example, if you are taking automata as your background subject, you might expect question on say closure properties of regular language. Suppose L1 is regular, L2 is regular. Is L1 union L2 is regular? If yes, how to prove it? L1 say intersection L2, is that regular? So something around those lines, right? For example, suppose if you have chosen engineering mathematics as your background, maybe one question might be that you know this complete graph, right? So there is some matrix corresponding to that complete graph. So can you tell the rank of this matrix? That might be an interesting question. So more or less based on whatever question they ask you, obviously it is important to answer them right. But even if you are not answering them right, just keep working on it, and based on the hints, whatever they give, there is high chance you will clear it. So think out loud, and you will be, I think you'll be able to solve the questions. Yeah, that's all I had for A pool, right?
Yeah, I totally agree with this that thinking aloud is very important. Like there should not be a blank that you're just thinking and it's completely silent.
Right, and it can happen because when I entered room, there were at least 9 to 10 professors, and it might happen that you're seeing so many elite researchers in their domains, and you are blank for some time. It is fine, but take some time, have some water if you want, but don't hesitate. Even if you're stuck, you can ask for it. That can you help me here or something like that. Just don't be blank. That's all. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember even I asked my advisor that what you actually see in candidate whenever you're recruiting for the process. So they will always say that we always think about the thought process, and if the candidate is not able to answer, and if I am giving hint, is it important? It's important that is able to go in the right direction or not.
Right.
So now we'll talk about the systems pool. So here also we'll have a written test. So so as you can see on the screen, we have questions related to system is more like operating system, computer architecture, networks. Yeah, it will be questions related to that. And what I felt that if you have done gate preparation properly in the sense that we are comfortable in solving previous year questions, then this type of questions is like just another thing you will be able to solve. It's not that tough, I felt. So yeah, like basic C programming output, arrays, linked lists. Yeah, mathematics questions was also there. It's not a system pool. Is there? So no mathematics, nothing like that. Basics. Again, all these type of questions I found that if you are comfortable with the gate previous year questions, then it will be like just a formulative for you like to getting the things. Yeah, and so Soumya would like to say about intelligent systems, our written test.
Now, in case of pool C, that is intelligent system, again as same as theory in systems pool, there will be 10 questions from easy to moderate level, and questions will be mainly from the probability. Like questions can come from combinatorics, conditional probability, from data structure algorithm, graphs, time complexity, from linear algebra. Again, questions will be very simple or of moderate level. There won't be any hard questions since you will get only half an hour of time to solve those questions. For example, these I do have some sample questions. Like there was a question in during my written test. Like some functions were given, and we have to sort those functions in the increasing order of their of their time complexity. And again, there were two questions, I guess, from about what is the output of this C program. There was a question on tree. There was a question on combinatorics as well, like number of permutation of something. So yeah. Apart from this, the main thing I would like to focus on the written test is that try to attempt as many questions as possible. Like I solved 7 to 8 questions completely. By completely, I mean I had the answer for those questions, and for the remaining 3, I have just written my approach. So you will be given a sheet, basically an exam sheet, and there will be small blocks for each of the question where you have to write your answers. So one thing I would like to focus on, and everyone should follow if you want to get through the written test, is that write your approach clearly in the rough area. There will be a rough area. If it's not there, just try to draw a line and create a rough area and write your approach properly in that area. Even in the case of written test, they will be more interested in your approach to solve the question, your thinking process, rather than the final answer. So this is very important since half of the candidates will get rejected in this phase itself, especially in case of intelligent system pools, because competition will be very high for this. So this is very important. So I will again repeat that write your approach in the rough section and try to attempt as many questions as possible. It's not whatever you it's not that it should be correct, but don't write garbage. Just write some logical points, and if it's always better if you if you are getting the final answer, of course. But even if you are getting to the final answer for some question, in that case also write your approach in the rough section. That will definitely help.
I have one, like I wanted to recall how was the written test. Was the paper lengthy, guys? Like in the time duration, was it achievable? Can you guys recall? I'm unable to recall that. Was it lengthy or achievable? Or
It was achievable. For me, it was achievable. Like I have solved 7 to 8 questions completely. So it was achievable. And if you are solving like 7 questions, it will be fine. But again, for the remaining 3, try to write the approach. Utkarsh?
Yeah, no, I would say why the 7, like try to solve, ideally
Yeah.
try to solve everything.
Ideally, you should solve like,
Don't
all
leave
the
anything, yeah.
And the questions will be similar, very similar to GATE 1 mark question. You do not have to prepare anything extra for the written test, especially in case of ISC.
Yeah.
So, and it is applicable not only to CSA but for CDS as well.
Yeah, and leave any topic if you want, but sorting the function based on asymptotic order, that you should never leave, because I think every year they ask it.
so Utkarsh already discussed about how the interview process happens with the theory code. So now I would like to give a brief description about like how interview process happens at system code.
Nikhil, sorry to interrupt, but speak loudly.
Yeah. Voice is audible now?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. So now I would like to actually discuss about how the interview process happens if you are in the systems pool. So basically, as mentioned, question will be asked based on the subjects has been selected for the interview. Irrespective of what I observed, that irrespective of the subjects you are selected, your basic C programming will always be analyzed. Like you will be asked to code for a particular problem, and also I find it that it's achievable. Achievable in sense, obviously it varies from person to person, but I found that like again, there's very basic C programming that will be done.
By coding, you mean writing code on board, right? Not actually. Right.
Yeah, not just discussing the logic. You have to write the code.
But you don't have to compile it or anything, right?
No. Thanks, Upesh, for pointing out. Yeah. So you can see on the screen, like I remember this was a question I was being asked by one of the professor. So there you can see this is of a process related. Like if 2 processors, let's say, are running concurrently, so what will be the output of the program? Basically, I selected operating system as one of the background subject during my time. So they will actually test virtual address concept, physical address concept, that how these things work. Are we having bookish knowledge, or we actually really feel what is virtual address, how the process like run, like all those things. They generally test on this. So it depends upon the subjects you have selected. This is one of the sample questions I would say they have asked. Soumya, intelligent systems, how it happens?
Sure. So in case of intelligent system pool, as I said earlier, that linear algebra and probability is very, very important. And for the these are the 2 subjects that will from which question will definitely come. Apart from this, if you have mentioned something related to ML in your resume, then some basic questions. You might get some basic questions on that project, or from basic questions on ML as well. But I would suggest not to mention anything related to machine learning or deep learning if you are not very confident about it. Just stick to the basic, just stick to the linear algebra and probability. First let me tell you how to prepare for these 2 subjects. So for linear algebra, one should definitely watch Dilbert Strong MIT videos, and it is must, I would say. And from probability, you can go through. There's a course from MIT only, I think, from Professor Sitlis, and there is a course from Harvard also. But main thing that you should focus on for the interviews is on the proofs. Like proof, by proof I mean derive the expectation of geometric random variable, derive the expectation of variance of let's say again geometric or any random variable, proofs like that. For linear algebra, it's like getting to the rank, finding the trace, etc. All this will be asked. So I have put a blog link here that you should go through, where I have written all the questions as well as the answers that I gave for those questions, and your interview review will go very much similar to it only. From a linear algebra, questions like what is eigenvalue, what are eigenvectors, they will give you some example and ask you to find the eigenvalues and eigenvectors of it. These are the typical questions that one can expect, and eigenvector and eigenvalues are very important. Like one question will definitely come from it. For the probability, prepare all the random variables and etc. very well, because questions will be come from it, and you will be the driver of your interview. And as Nikhil and Utkarsh said, that your focus will be on, they will try to, it's not important whether you are getting to the answer or not. They will basically focus on your thinking skills, whether you are able to, how you are thinking, whether you are able to get from one step to the other or not. So from tips, I would say, first think out loudly, which is very important. Whatever that is going on in your mind, just say. You will get a lot of hints, and try to catch those hints. That are very important. Professors will give you hint at every step. It's not like that you stop at some point and they will not give you the hint. I mean, they will not help. Professors are going to help you. It's just that how you are taking their hint will be important. Another thing is, don't go on something that you are not very sure about. Just stick to the basics, and you will be fine. So, and as I said, write your and this advice is applicable to both written test and interview. That write your solution approach very clearly. Your interview will going to happen on a whiteboard. So where you have to write your approach. So write it very clearly. And just go through my blog link. Also, I want to add one more thing, when it is applicable for all the pools. Go through the interview experiences that are available on the internet, as many as you can. In fact, not as many as you can. Go through the all interviews. Question will get repeated, and you will get a sense of the interviews, like what will be the structure, what they are expecting from those experiences.
Yeah, totally agree, Soumya, on this.
Like, I went through all the interview links that were available on the Google, and it really helped me a lot.
Yeah, actually, just one thing, that GoClasses also offer completely free engineering mathematics course, and one thing I can definitely kind of guarantee is that, like, if you complete that course, then your interview and your written test will be so smooth that you won't be even realizing that you are appearing for the interview. Like, that's what we made sure at GoClasses. So there are many aspirants, there are many toppers who has cleared their research interviews last year, and this year also, like, we are constantly getting feedback whenever anyone is appearing for the interview. Like in I think CDS interviews, in IISc CDS interviews are already over, and we have already got many feedbacks that interview went smooth just because of the GoClass engineering course. So it is not like I think I'm promoting the course here, but it is like first you can just get that first hand experience. So it is very helpful course, and we have covered all of these in that course, like in very good detail. Like Somesh talked about the proofs and all. So everything we talked there was with respect to proofs only. So everything was taught from basics and with the proofs. So you can definitely check out that course. It is freely available. So that's why I'm suggesting. Yeah. Nikhil, you was saying something.
No, I was just nothing.
Okay, okay.
I think we can take the questions now. Is there any final piece of advice?
हाँ, मैं एक बार क्वेश्चंस बताता हूँ. तो निखिल कपूर इज वन एस्पिरेंट हु इज आस्किंग, सर आई हैव सम डाउट कि वी हैव टू चूज 3 लैब्स बिफोर द इंटरव्यू, बट इफ आई डोंट नो कि किस पर्टिकुलर डोमेन में जाना है, तो हाउ शुड आई बी मेकिंग द चॉइस अगर मुझे पता ही नहीं है तो?
You can screen it from the subjects you like, right? For example, if you like algorithms, maybe you can go for a pool. So for example, if you like operating system or architecture, you can go for B pool. So depending on which subject you like, you can think of choosing lab, right? And as we said earlier, this lab will not be, it won't stick with you forever, right? You can always change it, right? So I think if you're not aware of, or you cannot decide which lab to go or which areas to pick, better you go with the subjects, which subject you like, and corresponding lab maybe you can select.
Right.
So
Based
there
on the
are two
subject we can
aspects for choosing the subject. One, in which subject you are most comfortable with, because clearing the interview is most important. Second, whether you are really interested in working that pool only. I mean, I'm not saying that if you have chosen data structure, or if you have chosen algorithm, or if you have chosen computer architecture, and you are going to work on that subject only, but your areas will be kind of fixed. By areas, I mean the second column, sub areas where positions are open. So try to think in 2 ways. First, your comfortable subjects, and second, whether you really want to stick in that area or in that pool for the next 3 years.
Right.
Yeah, also to add on, for example, here in A column, lot of new names might be there, right? Computational geometry, topology, or whatever, cryptography, or there are many new names, right? So yeah, not everyone is aware of these names. So better go for the subjects, see the subjects. If you are interested in these subjects, for example, probability, LA, computational theory, or algorithms, maybe you are interested in one of these areas. That's how it goes.
And once you get selected, you will get a chance to explore all the
Yeah,
sub-areas.
you will get to know what is computational geometry. Maybe then you can decide whether it is your cup of tea, something like that.
Right. And in fact, if suppose you have given the interview in intelligent systems and you are not liking it very much and you want to work in systems, then you can choose a professor from the intelligent systems pool, and your second advisor can be from systems pool, and you can work on the intersection of both the. So it does that once you get into the institute, everything will be in your head. Again, but there should be a mutual agreement between your advisor, because this is, I would not say very strict, but there is some rule that your first advisor should be from the pool that you have chosen, or from the pool in which you have given interview.
So to conclude, there is a slight flexibility that we have. It's not no hard and fast rule, but little flexibility is there.
Slight flexibility is there. Nikhil, next.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
I think from presentation point of view, we are done, right? We can go to the last slide and
we can stop sharing also, I think.
Right.
No, I think there were a few more slides, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
अच्छा नहीं हो गया क्या? Okay. Yeah, I think this.
There was one slide.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, thank you so much for presenting the slide. So let me just put the questions that are there in the chats. Okay, Kunal is asking ki course pool, which course, the course pool which you mentioned is for CSA specific or the CDS? जो pools हैं, है ना, pool A, B, C, is this for only for CSA or for the CDS? I think that's what he meant to ask.
It's CSS
Okay, so
specific.
we
That paper
yeah,
that
these
we have shown, that is CSS specific.
tools
But
are CSS. Yeah.
yeah, but in general, you will have same rough idea in any IIT. Like you will
Yeah,
find the style.
in CDs there won't be any strict segregation of pools, but let me quickly go through the interview process of CDS. So in case of CDS, you have to decide for which lab you are going to give the interview, and your interview will be based on that only. And once you get into that lab, I think there won't be any chance that you can change the lab. So in case of CDS, you won't be able to explore much, and your research will start in the first semester itself. Your advisor will be pre-decided. So, and the interview process will be same as that of CDS. Like there will be a written test, and then based on the lab, suppose you have chosen a lab from machine learning lab. So written test will be same that I mentioned earlier for CSA, and yeah, that was the procedure for CDS, and for electrical. So I would also like to highlight for people those who are applying for IISc, also apply in electrical department. So there are a lot of opportunities there for full C, and I think for systems as well, because since electrical is I'm not very sure about the systems, but yeah, there are a lot of good labs in the electrical department that works on machine learning or deep learning related areas. And the interview process will be same. Like I think there won't be any written test, or just that there will be interview, and interview will go around linear algebra and probability also only. So you should apply for, if you are interested in machine learning, don't forget to apply for electrical department as well.
That's really nice point. Yes, for IISc.
Yeah, right.
Right.
I think there won't be any written test, so this is one edge. And one more thing, like even if you are from CSE department and you want to take some course from CDS, you can take it, and it is applicable for both MTech courses as well as for research. Or you are from electrical department, you want to take CSE courses, you can take it. So there is no restriction as such, especially for the MTech research students.
Right. Okay. Let me just read out if there is any other doubt which is pending. So, how advisor is like how we select the advisor at IISc? This is one more doubt. If any one of you can answer.
So I can take this. So after you're selected in IISc, so in CSA in the first semester, you'll get an opportunity to interact with each of the professor. You can ask questions about in which areas do they work, and what are the requirements, whether you are then you can figure out whether you are actually interested in those areas or not. And I think by the end of first semester, so you will get a clarity that whether I want to go in this lab or not. So basically, first semester will be the exploration phase. You get a chance to interact with all of the professors, and actually that's a mandatory step as well. You have to interact with the professor, and you have to take a signature that I've talked to this professor from your pool.
Right. And that is for CSA, and for CDS, I think that is already fixed.
Pre-decided.
Yeah.
First, you choose the lab and the advisor, and then you'll give the interview for that.
Right. And by the way, like just to make this clear to everyone else, कि CSA, CDS, although these are the different departments, and also the AI is a course. Like AI is not a department; it is a joint course offered by 2-3 department. But ये मतलब नाम से अलग है, लेकिन CSA, CDS के बहुत सारे कोर्सेज ओवरलैप होते हैं. इनफैक्ट AI के, तो AI के मतलब कुछ कोर्सेज हैं जो कि CSA में भी होते हैं, CDS में भी होते हैं, विच मीन्स कि एक ही क्लास में CSA का भी स्टूडेंट होगा, उसी क्लास में AI का भी होगा, उसी क्लास में CDS सीडीएस का भी होगा, उसी क्लास में इलेक्ट्रिकल का भी होगा। तो ऐसा नहीं होता कि ये कोर्स कंप्लीटली अलग है। देर आर फ्यू कोर्स विच आर ओवरलैपिंग, मतलब फ्यू सब्जेक्ट्स विच आर ओवरलैपिंग among these 3 or 4 courses.
Like there won't be any course that is designed for only for MTech AI. So basically there are some set of courses will be there for MTech AI, and these are the courses basically are the courses that are offered in these 4 departments: EECS. So
Right.
electrical, computer science, and electronics, I guess.
Okay. Nikhil is asking कि I received the mail from CDS interview. I received a mail for CDS interview and they have mentioned labs, but but the written test syllabus is mentioned beforehand. So what advice you can give me as interview is scheduled on 26 May for the CDS interview? Like, do you want to mention any advice?
I'll say same advice is applicable to the CDS as well that I've given for the intelligent system pool. The 10 questions will be there. Try to attempt all the questions or as many questions as you can and write the approach.
Right.
So this is, and write your approach in the rough section. So whatever advices we have given for written test, it will be applicable across all the departments.
Right. एंड कुणाल इज आस्किंग कि सीडीएस का स्टूडेंट सीएसए में कोर्स ले सकता है और वाइस वर्सा, कि सीएसए सीडीएस में कोर्स ले सकता है क्या? डज दिस हैपन?
Yes.
ओके.
I can just add one point. I remember during my time I gave a CDS interview for MTech research. So I have opted for one of the lab named Dream Lab. So for that algorithms based questions were there, at least in 2019 time. I don't know if it has been changed. So it's more of like algorithms related questions will be asked for that. At least in 2019, if the pattern has been changed, I don't know. In that time it was there.
Right.
So
Okay. Anirvan is asking how many courses are there in MTech RA in IISc? How many courses an MTech RA can enroll in IISc? So I think 3 to 4 courses, as you already answered this, right?
minimum requirement is 3, but you can take as many courses as you can, and your advisor should approve it.
Right.
Or this is for crediting. You can audit as many courses as you can. By audit, I mean that you do not have to give the exams, or you will not be evaluated based on the exams or the assignments. It's just that you are taking the course. You are learning from it. Even you can appear for the exams, but it will not counted in your GPA.
Right. Satyam is asking कि MTech, he is not asking about the MTech research. In fact, he is asking something about the MTech coursework. कि MTech coursework में स्पेशलाइजेशन का क्या मतलब है, कि हम इस चीज़ में स्पेशलाइजेशन कर रहे हैं MTech coursework में?
So as we said, there are pool requirements in MTech courses, right? You have to take 2 courses from pool A, 2 from pool B, and 2 from pool C. So for rest of the 4 courses, depending on your interest, you can take the course from that pool. So by specialization, we mean, suppose after taking these 6 courses, you are suppose interested in machine learning. So you can take the courses related to the machine learning, and I mean by the end of your course, you will get specialized in that area. So this is what I mean by specialization. Also, in terms of lab as well, so after the first year, we will get the chance to select the lab. So if we are going into an intelligent systems lab, so you will be working on a project related to machine learning or deep learning, and you'll get specialized. I think Sachin, you can better answer this area.
Utkarsh, I think has something to say.
Yeah, I think to clarify it more, I think first 2 semesters you have to do courses, right? After that, I think you have to, for MTech people also, you get chance to decide your lab, because your 4th semester you have to do this project, right? So I think by specialization they mean that you have done that project from, say, machine learning lab. That is why you are specialized in machine learning or something like that. So even MTech people, they have to choose their advisor. So I think by specialization they mean that they are from that pool or that advisor.
Right, right. I agree. So, since I have done coursework, so I think I can speak on this also. So, like basically specialization का मतलब यही है एमटेक में जो मुझे समझ में आया कि पहली बात तो ऐसा कुछ डिग्री में आपका लिखा नहीं जाएगा कि आपने कुछ स्पेशलाइजेशन किया है इस फील्ड में, मतलब एमटेक की डिग्री एमटेक की ही है, ऐसा नहीं है कि डिग्री में कुछ लिखते हैं. दिस इज फर्स्ट थिंग. Secondly is that since you have to do 10 courses in MTech and there are 6 courses which are kind of mandatory कि दो हर पूल से दो लेने ही हैं, but 4 courses you are open to choose even from any other department, like it is not even necessary that you have to take from CSA or in whichever department you are. तो जो 4 courses है ना वो आपके जिस तरफ इंक्लाइन हो जाएंगे उस तरफ ही आपको बोल दिया जाएगा कि आप इसमें स्पेशलाइज कर रहे हो. एंड ऑब्वियसली आप जिसमें ज़्यादा कोर्स लोगे उसी में आप लैब चूज करोगे, लाइक उसी पर्टिकुलर डोमेन की आप जनरली लैब चूज करते हो. तो इट इज़ लाइक दैट आपका इंटरेस्ट किस फील्ड में ज़्यादा है वो उस चीज़ को आप ही स्पेशलाइजेशन बोल रहे हो. लाइक ऑफिशियली देयर इज नो टर्म कॉल्ड एमटेक स्पेशलाइजेशन. इट इज अ टर्म कॉइंड बाई एज ए स्टूडेंट, मतलब हम ही बोल रहे हैं कि वो स्पेशलाइजेशन है. ऑफिशियली दे आर नॉट कॉलिंग इट स्पेशलाइजेशन.
To the point.
Right.
Okay, so
Someone is asked, I wanted to ask this because some professor might be very famous, so they might take limited students. So what is the criteria? As you said, it is in the slides, so I will. So yes, this is very true that some professors are very famous and all the people want to go in their lab only. So my advice would be start early, talk to that professor and let him know that you are very much interested in his lab. Pursue him in my case, if I give the example, I have pursued 2 professors like for the 5 to 6 times. I went to him every week and showed my interest that I wanted to get in his lab. So you have to pursue the professor,
right.
and you have to start early.
And also it depends upon the like interview process. Let's say if you're performing very well, right? Let's
Right.
say then it might be possible that you will get a default advisor to that only, to which you would like to work under.
Right.
If you're, so you will get an upper edge. I would say it's not confirmed. You will get an upper edge that advisor may be with respect.
Your default advisor.
True. Right. I think we have answered all of the questions in the chat, so it is good point to stop. If you guys have anything more to add, then please do it. Otherwise, like we can wrap up the session also.
There is one more question. How much BTech CGPA is required to get into RA? So
Okay.
I think it depends on the institutes. IIT Madras has, I think, highest criteria, which is 7.5 GPA, if I'm not wrong. For
Yes,
all the other
I agree.
institutes, it's 6 or 6.5.
IIT Madras has 8, I think.
They might have
8.
been.
Okay.
8.
IISc doesn't
No,
have any
it's
criteria.
7.5 only, I think. IIT Madras.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
because
they
I
vary
don't.
from year to year, right?
Yeah, it may, like, during my time, I do not have 8 GPA and I got a call from IIT Madras. I remember it.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. So I think that is pretty much all the comments as far as I can see. Yeah. So these are all. So, do you find something else?
Let me check just a second.
Somebody was asking finally, what would you suggest, MTech or MTech research?
Right.
Again,
That's a nice question.
So again, I would say if you want easiest way to find out what you want, depending on your rank, if you're top 100, go for MTech. If ज़्यादा सोचना नहीं है तो go for MTech. Again, if you are very much interested in some area, you have to pursue more about it, you go for MTech research. Yeah, but yeah, it is very subjective, right? I mean, if I had gotten, say, 50 rank, maybe I would have gotten into MTech only. So yeah.
Got it.
And we have seen many. We have also, as Soumya also mentioned that there like we have seen there were actually double-digit rankers, and they still went for MTech research. So it's their interest over research that if you have little inclined towards research, then definitely it's the best for them.
Yeah, I have also seen such cases. Like people who had the choice of MTech and MTech research, still people have went for the MTech research. Yes.
Someone has asked, can we switch to MTech research after opting for MTech coursework once I got to know my interested field? I think switching to MTech research is not possible in case of IISc, but it's possible in case of IT Bombay.
Yeah, IT Bombay is possible. IISc have not seen any example, so we can't say if it is possible or not. But yeah.
Got it.
What is the trending research field in IISc nowadays?
What is the trending research? Is I don't think it's anything is trending. I mean,
There is
it is their professor's
So
interest.
many departments are there.
Yes.
So many professors. So many labs.
Right.
Like research is going on in all the directions, and there is nothing like trending research field. But usually, if you see in terms of competition, or people are usually interested in intelligence system too, that I see. Even in coursework also, I think most of the people fight for pool C labs.
I think they fight for the job, right? They fight for intelligence system because they want to get good job.
Right. True.
It's very difficult to get. This is the one especially for the pool C people, this is one advantage that if you choose MTech research, it is sure that you will get a pool C lab because it's mandatory, and you will get to choose the lab in first semester itself, so you do not have to compete with coursework students. But in case of MTech coursework, it's if you are interested in pool C, it doesn't mean that you will get that lab. It basically depends on how many positions are open in that pool.
Right.
So you might end up getting default labels for your pool C. So only applicable for pool C.
Right.
One thing I would like to just like as a conclusion, and if I would say that, let's say if you are performing very well on the interview and the written test, then definitely you will be in for this MTech research program. Then you don't need to bother that limited seats are there, so will I get it or not? That is not there. If you are performing really well, definitely one or the other professor will be definitely taking you.
Yes.
I agree.
There is one more question. What is the chance of getting admission in Ivy League college in US after completing masters from IISc? Which should be able to answer it?
It depends on how well you perform, right? If you have some publications, 1 or 2 good publications in good journal, good conference, I think you have a good chance. I mean, if you are asking specifically Ivy League, there are many criteria, right? They will look for your GPA, how well you perform in the undergrad, how good you are in extracurricular activities. So I think that is you have to be like extraordinary to, I think, get into Ivy League. But so more or less how you perform in these 2 years, I think, depends on that.
Yeah, and second thing is you should choose the lab. If you want to go to Ivy League college, I think you should choose a lab accordingly. You will get a recommendation letter from the professors. You will require the recommendation letter, I think, from 3 professors for getting there. So you should get in contact with multiple professors, work with them. Not like if you can work only with your advisor, you can talk to other professors and you can work in collaboration with them as well. So you should have clarity beforehand, and I would really like to focus on this. Try to get clarity in first semester itself that what do you want to do, because very much things will be cleared after first semester or first year, I would say. So it's always better to have clarity that what you want to do so that you can drive your MTech or MTech research program in that direction.
Yeah, these are all the things once you get into the college. So yeah, I would like to wish all the best for the interview process and the written test.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for showing up and thanks for your time. Thanks for joining the session. I'm definitely very much sure that this session is going to help many experience because there are many questions around the corner and there are very few resources which actually have the authentic information. So thank you so much for helping us to help the student actually. Thank you.
And all the best for your interviews.
Yeah.
All the best, and thanks Sachin for
Thanks, Sachin.
organizing us, for
Yeah.
inviting us. I know that you might have gotten better people, far better people than us.
No,
but
no,
still gave us
no,
opportunity.
no. This
Thanks
is
a
so
lot.
humble of you. Thanks for joining in. Thank you.
And
guys.
Sachin, we are going to share the slides, right?
Yes, I have already
Question
shared.
paper.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone.
we also wish GoClasses and all the students enrolled all the best for everything.
Yeah.
For
Thanks,
this
Nikhil.
year as well as the coming year.
Thank you so much, Nikhil. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Chalo, bye. Thanks all.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Sachin. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Reach out to us directly if you have any further questions.
Yes,
So we
sure.
can post
So
our
you can,
LinkedIn ID.
I will put the LinkedIn ID in the description. And if you mention that you are like you are GoClasses student or you are somewhere affiliated to GoClasses, probably they will prioritize your message. That is just my hope. Hopefully they will do it.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, guys.